What's up YouTube? I'm WTF Nick Hacks, and today I'm going to tell you about the best roguelike you've probably never heard of if you're above the age of 25. Roguelikes come in many different forms, but majority of them are side-scroller hack-and-slash games. They usually feature randomly generated dungeon maps to keep the experience fresh and a permadeath system that will give you the opportunity to punish yourself for your sins in a fashion that no one can actually judge you for. Now, a permanent character loss feature may not appeal to most. However, usually permadeath games will reward you on future playthroughs after you lose a character. This can include special items, permanent stat upgrades, or perks, or even unlockable characters. A roguelike's job is to give you infinite replayability. Every playthrough should function differently from your previous, whether this is new maps you've never seen, new upgrades, and even new bosses. The best part about this genre is fantasizing how you want to build your character in a new playthrough and seeing how far you can get with that build. Now, there are many notable roguelike games I could recommend to you, and maybe I'll do it in a future video, but that's not the purpose of today's video. Today we're going to be talking about a massively multiplayer online roguelike where thousands of players explore a broken world, discovering new secrets and honing their skills while developing the character of their dreams. In this game, you start as a nobody with nothing to your name but a shabby weapon and the rags on your back. It is your goal to venture out on an unforgiving sea and explore a dying world where literally everything and everyone is trying to murder you for your hard-earned loot. It's a game that features a robust attack, dodge, and parry system, open seas that you can explore on a ship with your friends, guildmates, randoms that you met on your journey, or hell, even just by yourself. There are hundreds of magical spells and techniques that are waiting to be discovered and unlocked by its players. There is open world PvP and a relatively forgiving permadeath system once you get the hang of the game. If any of this interests you at all, then great, I have your attention. Now, what if I told you that this game existed on the Roblox platform? Wait, don't click off just yet, hear me out. I'd like to preface this by saying I just turned 30 years old this year. Holy shit, I just said that out loud, and have never touched Roblox until about 1 year ago. This game has caused me to literally drop every single other game. I'm not kidding, I play League like once in a blue moon with some homies, but outside of that, I literally cannot play anything else aside from this game. I have hundreds of Steam games, and I don't touch any of them, and it's all because of this one Roblox game. So, without further ado, welcome to Deepwoken. This video's goal is to get this game in the hands of players who have never used the Roblox platform. If you're a Roblox player, chances are you've heard of Deepwoken because of its extremely high quality. 9 out of 10 Roblox games are truly absolute trash, but the team at Vows by the Sea have put in an ungodly amount of effort into this game, and it truly does not feel like a kid's game, even though Roblox has a reputation of catering to children. As you can see, it is quite a popular game, sitting at around 25,000 players on a Wednesday at 2:18 Eastern Standard Time in the morning. This game peaks around 30 to 40,000 players as of recently because of their newest update known as Verse 2. I could go on for days about how Verse 2 was the greatest game update I've ever had, and I've been gaming since I was 9 years old. But the point of today's video is to show you just how cool this game really is. As a side note, I've included a lot of the OST from the game because of how damn good it is. The composer's name is Nactagonis? Forgive me if I said that wrong, I know I butchered it. They are insanely talented. I'm a musician of about 15 years myself, and I gotta say the OST in this game is top notch. I'll leave a link to his music in the description, and even though I'll probably get a copyright strike for this, I don't really care. It sounded great with my video. In Deepwoken, your first step is creating your character. You're presented with multiple options on how you want to start your adventure. You can edit various values to give yourself a kind of starting point on the build that you want to create. Maybe you want to be a flame-wielding sword user, or maybe a giant battle axe with strength abilities is more your forte. Whatever the case, you build the character that you want to play. There are 5 different attunements in the game: Flame Charm, Gale Breath, Frost Draw, Thunder Call, and Shadow Cast. These abilities relate to the different elements of the song. The song is a reference to the inner ability to wield various elements and other abilities discovered within the world. The lore in this game so far is really rich, and if you're a lore nut like myself, you'll have an absolute blast discovering libraries and various NPCs that will give you small hints to the lore, much like from Software's Dark Souls series. You can choose to have a different origin if you've already unlocked it in-game. These are pretty cool because it changes the method in which you progress. The first 2 options are the 2 starting towns, which is your standard progression. These are what you would have to pick from as a new player. As you progress, you can unlock other origins, such as Voidwalker, which forces your progression to rely mainly on invading other players and killing them for experience and loot. I won't go into other origins right now, but I'll let you guys discover those for yourself. Lastly, we have a new feature that was just added in the Verse 2 update called Echoes. Echoes are very similar to mechanics you've seen in other roguelike games. These are gameplay modifiers that can either ease your experience or make it harder. Whenever you grind out a character and it wipes, you'll be sent to the Fragments of Self. After you have this extremely depressing conversation with yourself, your character is gone forever, but you are left with a score based on the various things you've completed within your run. This score rewards you with Echoes, which is a currency used to add positive modifiers on your future playthroughs. Deepwoken at its roots is a sandbox survival roguelike. It's a sandbox because you create your own goals with the tools that are given. It's a survival because you need to manage your blood, food, and water, as well as avoid dying to other players and creatures within the world. And it's a roguelike because of its permadeath feature and its RNG-based character building. Whenever you level up in Deepwoken, you're presented with a few hands of cards. These cards are known as talents, and talents are the meat and potatoes of your build. There are hundreds of talents in the game, and these talents are rewarded based on the stats that you're training. If you're training your agility a lot, you'll receive cards that let you climb higher, run faster, and just generally be a track star. Sometimes you're rewarded with cards that give you new abilities that correlate to your attunement. If you're a Gale Breath user, you'll get a lot of abilities relating to wind. Deepwoken never loses its replayability because you can always build more characters in different ways. On top of having an attunement, you can also choose to swear your life to an oath. Oaths are probably the coolest thing in the game and usually require an intricate questline or some sort of requirements to attain them. The current oaths that are in the game are Blindseer, Vision Shaper, Jet Striker, Arc Warder, Link Strider, Star Kindred, and Dawnwalker. Each of these relate to the different stats in the game. A Blindseer has a high willpower stat which lets them have resistance to a debuff in the game called Insanity. Vision Shaper is an oath that lets you pull other players into the illusionary realm where they have to fight visions of horrifying creatures. Arc Warder is basically an Iron Man suit. Link Strider is heavily support based and relies on buffing teammates and siphoning the life from enemies. Star Kindred is an angelic oath where you gain wings and aerial abilities. Jet Striker gives you crazy movement and wall climb abilities. And lastly, Dawnwalker is an oath that utilizes light magic to destroy their enemies. I'd like to take a minute to explain the combat system. If you're a fan of games like Dark Souls, Mordhau, and Chivalry, then you'll love this combat system. You hit your mouse 1 for your standard swings, you can tap F for a parry, or hold F for a block. If you right-click at the start of your swing animation, you will feint the attack. You can also press Q to dodge. Dodging an attack will give you a brief moment of iframes. You can also use your mouse too during a roll to perfect dodge, which will basically give you more time to react after dodging. Pressing R or middle mouse button will activate your weapon-specific critical attack. There are many different criticals in the game, so have a blast trying out new weapons and seeing what they're capable of. The abilities in Deepwoken are called mantras, and these can be weaved in between your swings in order to mix up your attacks, apply pressure, and generally just increase your overall damage output. Now I wanted to discuss how servers work. Roblox actually has an interesting way to keep lag down and make sure you're never feeling like you're playing a dead game. Deepwoken's server size is between 20 and 25 players, and there are hundreds of these servers to choose from. What this means is that even if the Roblox game fell to 100 concurrent players, you'll still be dropped into a full server of people to play with. Now, Deepwoken is an incredibly popular game, so it isn't dying anytime soon. The devs put out weekly bug fixes and content system updates to keep the game flowing smoothly. This game can be played in any way you want. Whether you have an entire guild of people you love playing with and all you really want to do is get on and upgrade your guild base or do bosses together, then that's really up to you. If you want to hop in solo or with a buddy, you can do that too. But beware, this game is unforgiving and you will probably get outnumbered by sweaty guilds sometimes. Losing characters is a part of the game, and with the new echoes being added, it should only excite you to quickly get a new build together and continue playing. Deepwoken is an incredible game with a huge learning curve, and I just wanted to share my experience with it and hopefully get the word out that these developers on Roblox are no joke. Deepwoken costs 400 Robux, which when converted to USD comes out to about $5. I spent $5 literally a year ago and have hundreds of hours in this game. It was totally worth it through and through. Alright, so I had another 10 minutes of footage explaining combat systems and mechanics, but I remembered I'm a lazy piece of shit and decided to cut it short here. I don't do YouTube for a living, but I am quite sick of working at a desk job, so please, subscribe, like, and hit that bell notification for more.